Weather portion of Ag Week now. You know what? It's almost April weather-wise, and that often means some climate pattern changes, some weather pattern changes, and we do have some. The most notable, as we get toward the start of April this year, there's going to be a good surge of warm air coming up northward through the Great Plains, and it'll be interesting to see what, if any, impact that has on the general storm track, which has really been set in the southern and eastern parts of the United States for the last many weeks, even months. Jet stream patterns split across the United States right now. Not a particularly powerful or active pattern. The warm air is pretty far south right now, but the Arctic air is pretty far north. We're not seeing that sudden juxtaposition of extremely cold versus warm. Northern plains, there will be some cold days where it maybe doesn't get above freezing or doesn't get much above freezing, but most of the week here this week will be at least above 32 degrees, even over North Dakota and northern Minnesota. I think that is looking fairly likely. As we move toward the weekend, I am expecting a little bit of a brief surge of cold up in the high Arctic. That's not going to affect very many places because at the same time, here comes that surge of warm air. And I look for this to move out into the northern plains sometime around the start of April. And we may get a few days of some pretty warm weather getting up into Nebraska, South Dakota, even some parts of North Dakota. So what does that do to precipitation? It's going to be a wet central and eastern United States, scattered pockets of mountain snow, and a pretty good coastal rain system this week. As we move into the second week, the rain area out west, I think, will shrink a bit to become more the Pacific Northwest. Showers will be predominant across the southwest and southern states. The heaviest rain will likely be in the eastern United States. While I'm not saying the northern plains gets no precipitation, it looks like once we get past this first weekend, a generally dry pattern.